So we're going to solve these multi-step inequalities. So we're going to go through the process as if it's an equal sign. First thing we always need to get rid of is any kind of denominator that we have. To get rid of denominator, all you do is multiply by that denominator. So if I multiply both sides by 6, I will get negative 24c on the left. The 6's actually cancel out on the right. That leaves me a 5c plus 58. Once I have that, now I can manipulate the letters to the left, which is how I always like to have it in what I call standard form. And that gives me a negative 20 side c equals 58. Not equals, but less than equal to. Now I'm going to divide by my negative 29. And because I'm dividing by a negative number, the signs inequality must switch. And by doing that, I'm going to get a negative answer of negative 2. Now I can graph that, so I'm going to go to a negative 2. I'm going to go to one number to the left and one number to the right. Remember, keep in mind that negatives go down. And then I'm going to have a solid circle, and I'm going to have my arrow going in the direction that my inequality is when my letter's on the left. So let's look at this problem over here. We're going to do the same thing. I'm going to get rid of the denominator by multiplying both sides by 5. By doing that, I get a negative 15x on the left and a negative 4x plus 22 because the 5's cancel. And now I'm going to add my 4x to both sides. Add 4x. It gives me a negative 11x less than 22. But I'm going to divide by a negative number, which is going to switch the sign. And then I can graph this very similar to the problem we just did with the exact same answer. It's just a different variable, and the process is a little different. So here's some more multi-step inequalities that we're going to solve. So I'm going to remove the parentheses. So that's going to be a 24v, and I'm going to multiply that by the 3, which is going to be a negative 18, less than, and then I'm going to multiply through 20v plus 6. And once we have that done, is there any like terms that can be combined? Nothing. So now I'm going to get my variables on one side of the equation. So I always put my ones on the right to the ones on the left. Oops. So that's going to be a minus 24v, which gives me a 4v minus 18 less than or equal to 6. I'm going to add my 18 to both sides. So 4v gives me 24, and then divide by 4. V is less than or equal to 6, and then I can graph that by going 6, one number to the left, one number to the right, solid circle because of the line underneath, and I'm going to go to the left. That's why I always put my letter variable on the left-hand side. Let's do the same equation, so I remove parentheses. It's going to be a negative 15d plus 35 greater than 6d plus 42. I'm going to put my variables to the left, so I'm going to minus the 6d, which gives me a minus 21d plus 35 greater than 42. Then I can solve my equation by subtracting the 35. Notice I don't flip the sign because I'm subtracting. I'm not flipping the sign, but then I am going to divide by negative 21, and by doing that, I flip the sign, which gives me a negative 1/3. So now we have to know how to graph fractions. So fractions are always between 0 and 1, so there's my two numbers, and this happens to be a negative 1, so negative 1/3, somewhere right in here, open circle, and I'm going to go to the left because I want numbers smaller.